Okay, very excited to be here and presenting to you. I can see a few people from around the globe that I've also invited on, some from Atlanta in Georgia, Alice Springs in Australia, and of course all our Kiwi friends around New Zealand. So welcome everyone. Welcome to day 6, 7 days of 7 ways to activate your life. And naturally, and of course, I am your guest speaker, Raroa, calling in from Auckland, New Zealand. Really pleased to see you guys here. I know it's a Saturday afternoon if you're living here in Auckland, or a Saturday morning in Australia, or wherever you're calling in from. I'm just really pleased for you to kind of take your time out and jump on this call with me. So this is going to run for about 20 minutes and hopefully it'll make sense to you more so as we go through. If not, just get back to the person who invited you along today and just say, hey, what was that girl talking about? And then they'll clarify it for you. But anyway, I just wanted to start off with this just my journey about what brought me here today, where my life started in terms of my journey here. And it really all just began with my dad, actually, to be honest with you. Just a bit of background about me. I am a mum, a grandmother of 2 boys. I have boys that produce boys, so I'm waiting for a girl. But we live here in Auckland. My husband and I have been married for 30 years. That's a long time. And, you know, we know the ropes. We've been around a while. We've worked. I've come from a professional background. I've worked in health for such a long time. I did health research for such a long time. I created, you know, labs. And you know, one thing that I loved about my job was the community and the people that I worked with. And life was going fine. I had grandchildren and everything was going really well. And then something happened with my dad that we noticed as a family over time, that he was aging, what we called aging. And he was forgetting things, and he could no longer look after himself. And so he lives on this huge farm on the east coast of New Zealand. And I says to my sisters, look, you know, Dad's not coping, he's not living, he's not remembering stuff. And we were just really worried about his health, and more worried about what would happen if the stove that he left on heaps of times, you know, if it hadn't have been turned off by someone who called in. So we just had to sort of pull my dad off the farm. And it was probably one of the hardest things we've ever had to do as a family, was go to our dad and say, Dad, you can no longer look after yourself. And for us to be able to pull my dad off the farm was just, it was gut-wrenching. But he was a lot safer in our environment. But for us to pull him into our environment, into this big city of Auckland, it really confused him a lot more, and we just knew he was safer. But one of the things that I didn't understand was, with all my medical knowledge and background, I didn't know where to go to help my dad. And I rang a couple of friends, but my friend Trish Hunt rang me up from Australia, and she says, Deb, you've got to try this product out. I've been using it for personal reasons, for my own health. Try it. You've got nothing to lose. It's natural. And so when she sent this product over to me, I started researching more about it. And I just thought, wow, this looks amazing. I understood the language. I understood the academic research. And I wanted to give it a go. I had nothing to lose because I had my dad living with me who was just forgetting things daily. So we gave him the product. And we started seeing changes in my dad in 60 days. We started seeing things like him pulling out a photo album that he no longer engaged with. And he started talking to me about his photos. And I was like, something's going on here. And so I rang up my sister and I says, look, I don't know what's going on with Dad. He's just seems to be functioning better. He's walking well. He's creating conversation, which he never was doing. And he started talking to us about pictures in his photo album. And I just said to my sister, there's something going on. I've started him on this new product. I really want to know what it is and how I can get more of it. And that's really how my journey started with this company, this product, these people that are on this call today, because I wanted to understand what I had my hands on. We couldn't get it here in New Zealand. I had to get it from Australia. And so that's where my journey started. And of course, that's my dad on the left. That's his pig farm. That's all he ever knew. His friend, Mr. Kung Fu, he called him right there in the middle, because every day I would make sure Dad was in a routine and walking every day. And on the right-hand side is his photo album. So for the next 17 minutes, I'm just going to talk to you more about what I discovered, what made me sit here today and share my story with you. So really, 3 years ago, when my friend sent me this product, this is when I started looking at more about what this company was all about. And so we thought, well, how do we get this company to come to New Zealand? And then they started off as a customer country. And then we started to support them to launch here in New Zealand. This is really where my story began. But before I get started, I just want to be able to share this disclaimer with you about LifeVantage and its affiliates. Do not claim to cure, heal, prevent, mitigate, or diagnose any disease. This is really important. This information is for educational purposes only. So let's take you from the start about LifeVantage and what I learned along the way. So how it all started, LifeVantage began in a lab with a single question. Is declining health something we have to simply accept as part of getting older, which comes back to my dad? And what I found out about this company was its ability to keep our bodies healthy through communicating with genes through nutrition. That's what I found out. I thought, how does that even work? Which is where it started introducing the world to biohacking and really taking control of our own biology. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Because your health does not have to decline as you get older. That was one thing I learned about this business and about the science. And it all led me back to, well, what do I know about this company? Who invented all this stuff? And it was this man called Dr. Joe McCord. When I read about him and what he created, was absolutely amazing. But when I read more about this company, I was just overwhelmed with what its ability to do with these products and how we can share these products to our people in our community. So I learned that Dr. Joe McCord won the Elliott Crescent Award. I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, what is that award? But I know you've heard of Alexandra Bell. I know you've heard of Orville Wright. I know you've heard of Henry Ford. These are all the people that were that had this award. And I was like, really? This is crazy. I mean, you and I know about the bell, about the guy who created the telephone. We pick it up 100 times a day. He really created history. But Dr. Joe McCord spent all of his life trying to figure out how we can talk to our genes through nutrition. And that's what I'm going to talk to you more about shortly. But if we look at the products over here on the left, you know, the research and Protandem, this is what my dad had started on and where I really learned more about the company and the product. They all have a history. 1958. Can you imagine that? 1958. Gosh. Did we even have computers back then? I don't know, but you know, this is science. This is the journey of science. We're discovering things new every day. And this is what I learned about this company. Absolutely amazing. But what I didn't understand was what makes us age differently, or what makes us age not so well. And it all had to do with oxidative stress. I didn't even know what oxidative stress was, to be honest with you. But I heard a doctor say oxidative stress occurs when our body it has the inability to be able to get rid of free radicals. And I was thinking, I know what free radicals are. Those are the things that run around in our body and create havoc. So you saying to me that if we have too many free radicals, it now creates oxidative stress? And they says, yes. And I'm going, that makes sense. But what creates oxidative stress? And they were like, well, this is what creates oxidative stress. Sitting on a motorway in Auckland creates oxidative stress. I don't know if you've been sitting in motorways packed jam lately, but it's horrific. That's stress. The food we eat, all the pesticides and herbicides that's sprayed, the air that we breathe. I know it's the thing that keeps us alive, but it's the very thing that creates oxidative stress. Too much exercise, too little exercise, the environment. I don't know if you live in the city, but sometimes if you can see smokestacks pumping out smoke, that is oxidative stress. Our whole environment creates it. Someone says to me, well, how can you not be in it? How can you get rid of it? Well, maybe if you lived on some deserted island. But I learned more about oxidative stress and what it has the ability to do to us. And it just blew me away. Medication, fumes that we fill up our car with. I had to fill up my car before because I had to go and get my hair cut. I was like, oh my gosh, got to get petrol. But this all contributes to us living. And I just want you to think about that for a minute, because the more we live in an environment that gives us oxidative stress or free radicals, the more we age quickly. And this is where I learned more about, well, what is the effect of aging? Tell me. This is the effect of aging. This is what uncontrolled oxidative stress looks like. It has an effect on the way we age. So our skin, our kidneys, our joints. And I'm like, how do we even know this? And they just says, go to PubMed. And I already knew what PubMed was because, I lived in that space in terms of research. Because PubMed, what I learned was PubMed is the national gold standard for research. It's where we all go to learn about what's happening out there in the big wide world of research. And I encourage you, after you get off this phone call or off the Zoom, go and look it up, pubmed.gov, and type in oxidative stress. And there you will see everything about what causes it, what it's related to, and what the effects of it is. And it'll add up. It'll add up to you about why we are aging so differently today than we were 100, 1,000, 10,000 years ago. And it's not going to get any better. It's like how you and I can cope with it on a daily basis. And then it started making sense to me. I started getting it. You mean to say, because of this happening to my dad, this is possibly why this has happened. So that's when I started getting what this company is all about and what we have our hands on with these products. Completely blew my mind. This is the product I gave my dad, Protandem. Pretty amazing. Didn't know anything about it. I knew that it had 5 products. I knew it was milk thistle, ashwagandha, green tea, turmeric, bacopa. I was like, pretty cool. But the science I read about this product will blow your mind. It lowers oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And, I talked about oxidative stress before. Increases superoxide dismutase. I didn't even know what that word was. But I tell you what, when I heard about what Joe McCord did and how he created that or discovered it, was pretty phenomenal. That's how he got his Elliott Crescent Award. Catalase by 54%, but here's the kicker. It increases glutathione by 300%. If you don't know what glutathione is, please go Google it. Google what glutathione has the ability to do when you have good glutathione and what the ability that it doesn't have if you don't have enough. Pretty amazing. It'll blow your mind. Especially today, more than anything, do we need good levels of it? It's the only dietary supplement proven to extend lifespan in male mice. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a second, because this is when I went on and learned more about what this product can do in terms of that National Institute of Aging research. Pretty amazing, eh? In science, they measure things in a graph, and this is how they measure the effect of what each of those products can do. You'll see them. They look like little blips on here. It's got control, ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea. And you're probably thinking, well, I've got some of those in my cupboard. You probably have. I've got green tea in mine. I've got turmeric in mine. But I put it like this. Each one of those little blips on their own is like one All Black sitting on the field playing rugby. But when they come together in a scrum, it creates protandem. It now gives you the force you don't want to be involved with. It creates a massive force in your body, and it has that massive effect of why this product is so good. And then I got it. And this is what's so good. And this is why it is in PubMed. And I'll talk about all those articles in PubMed shortly. This might be a bit more clearer for you, because this made sense to me. You and I spoke about free radicals before, or oxidative stress. That's on the left. And I was thinking, well, you know, how many antioxidants or how many free radicals do we have in our body? But this is what free radicals does. I mean, I eat blueberries all the time. I think they're absolutely amazing, and don't stop taking them because they're brilliant to have. But this is what it would take to counteract free radicals in your body. So 6 pounds of blueberries, 400 oranges, 500 cups of broccoli, and 127 vitamin C tablets has the power of one of these products, one of these tablets. I'm like, what? Because what you and I know is that if we take a bunch of blueberries, it'll get rid of a few free radicals. That we do know. One blueberry, one free radical. That's the math. But we've got a few billion, trillion, grillion free radicals in our body. So a couple of blueberries ain't going to cut it. And this is what I learned about protandem. And I was thinking, well, how do I measure? How do I understand what this ability to have? So they measured it in this graph, like I showed you before. So on the right-hand side, this is what our body looks like without protandem. That's that aging graph. And this is what it looks like after. The blue line. That's where you want to be sitting, on the blue line. And this is what this product has the ability to do. Guys, I'm still learning about this stuff. If you think you're blown away by what I'm talking to you about, you made my mind. I still don't understand the ability of what this product can do for my family, for my children, for my grandchildren coming through at a later date. I just know this product and this company blows me away. And this is why I joined them. I just want to talk about a couple of those studies I mentioned before on PubMed and what protandem has the ability or has created for us. You and I can go in that PubMed and look at those 31 published peer-reviewed studies. And I encourage you to go in there and have a look at this. 26 studies published in PubMed and 31 published peer-reviewed studies. Pretty amazing. Here's just a few universities that have gone and done it. Nothing to do with LifeVantage. Washington State, Ohio State, University of Colorado, Harvard, even Harvard. But I want to talk to you about the National Institute of Aging. I was like, are you kidding me? So the National Institute of Aging created a study, started a study in 1999. And it conducted a study to investigate the treatments of potential treatments with the potential to extend lifespan and delay disease and dysfunction in male mice. That's what their study was. And they tried out testing resveratrol, fish oil, green tea, and curcumin, and protandem. And none of these individual ingredients or supplements were shown to increase the lifespan of mice except for protandem. This is what National Institute of Aging said. And I was like, are you kidding me? So protandem showed that it positively impacted lifespan by 7%. And again, I didn't understand a lot of it, but what I understood was what I was reading and what National Institute of Aging wrote. So then I learned more about the company and really what I had my hands on. And I learned that in 2003, they publicly company founded, they were on NASDAQ. They launched its first activator product in health stores in protandem, NRF2. So what I mean by that is that after this ABC primetime video was released, it went viral. And you can go on and have a look at that ABC report video. It's on YouTube. I encourage you to go and watch it. It just blew my mind. John Kirionis decided to do an investigative report on this because he heard about this product and he wanted to learn more about it. And when he was tested before and after of his oxidative stress levels, he had the blood of a newborn baby after 14 days or 20 days, I can't remember. And he was like, wow, this stuff is incredible. So it went viral back in that day. And so the company launched it through GNC, which is some form of chemist in America, I believe. And I don't know about you guys, but when I go into these healthery shops, I can never find someone expert enough to help support me to understand what I'm buying over the shelf. And so the products didn't go too well. So then it converted to a direct sales distribution system model. And I'm very thankful that it did because I heard it through a friend. And it's just, completely blown my mind ever since. So now the company, $233 million, 2020, was a funny year in 2020. The world was very strange, but this company just exploded. And of course, now in 2021, we are going from strength to strength. Countries are opening up to this opportunity for us. This year, we launched into the Philippines, Singapore, China. I've got my grandson. I'm very excited about that, half Filipino. I'm going to the Philippines because I've now got family there that I can talk to about this business. I'm very excited about that. How I talk to them really is just about the way that LifeVantage supports us and through the systems that they have to support our business to grow. One of them is our own website that we can share with you. Or our back office to help us understand how the growth and development of our business. Pretty amazing. We now have it in an app. Apps are going to take over the world in the next 5 years. In fact, they predict 85% of us will be using apps. And for me to be able to sit down on my phone and grow my business through my app is pretty amazing. I can just share the link with you. I love it. I love that I can do that. We have a friends and family reward program that I share with a lot of my friends and customers. They love it because I can give them the ability to get credit when they order. We work as a team, customer, me as a distributor. We work as a team together about how I can keep on giving them credits every month, just by sharing it with their family and friends. I love it. I love that I can do that with them. And they love the product. They keep on buying it because I provide great service to them. For me, I wanted more. I started realizing that the way the world's going, I needed to look at more a sustainable life for me. What does a sustainable life look like? It's just that when I can no longer have to rely on an income coming in from an employer. And that's when I looked harder at this company and I thought, actually, I've shared enough stories. I started seeing cash come into my bank account and I wanted to start sharing it at a larger scale. I showed you all those countries on that map. It's pretty amazing. This is what you and I have got the ability to do. Share this product on a global, not just local, global, and start earning some really good cash. I want to leave it there because I've had a really great time sharing my story with you about why I looked at this product, why I looked at this company. You know, go back to the friend who invited you here today. But I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying just spending my afternoon here with you, having fun, meeting lots of people online, meeting lots of people in our meetings. It's a great community to be part of. And, you know, let's just have fun. But look, come back to me. You can get me through Facebook or whatever, Deb Raroa, if you want to answer some more questions. But, you know, go back to the person who also invited you here today. But I just want to thank you for jumping on. And I hope to see you guys around. Let's have fun. All right. See you guys. I'll see you later.